Google Classroom can be found at classroom.google.com. Or if you're signed into your Google account, you can click the 3x3 box on the upper right corner and scroll down, and Google Classroom should be an option for you. Either way is fine. If you've never created a Google Classroom before, your screen is going to look something like this. It just won't have this class here, but it'll just be blank. To start, you'll want to add a class. So you're going to click on the positive sign in the upper right corner and then click Create Class to create a class of your own. And depending on where you're creating this Google Classroom, you may have this pop up. If your school has the G Suite for Education accounts, which they probably will if you're using Google Classroom, this screen won't pop up for you. If you're trying to create a Google Classroom not related to your actual classroom, maybe it's for an extracurricular or for outside activities, this might come up because you're not through your Google Education account. So you'll have to click Continue. A screen will pop up asking you information about your particular class, and you can put in as much information as you would like here to help you distinguish the classes from others if you plan on creating multiple Google Classrooms. When you have filled in all of the categories you'd like, you can click Create. So I teach a botany class. I'm going to put botany as my class name, and my section I'm going to put 4th period. Since I put botany as the class name and not the subject, I don't really need to add any other details for myself. Once that class is created, you're going to see that there are several subsections on the top of your class. At this point, the stream is showing. Here you can find the class code for students to join the class, and that's found here. All they have to do is go to their Google Classroom and click the plus sign that you did. However, they're going to choose to join the class instead of create. From here, they'll be prompted to enter that class code, and when entered correctly, they'll be added to your class. Now, there also is a way of manually sending invites to students through their email so that they can join the class that way, and we'll see this later on in the video. Below that section, you'll see a box that says Share something with your class. This is a sort of news feed for your class. This section can be used to update students on new assignments being posted, changes in assignments, or any other relevant information. When you post something here, students also have the chance to comment and ask any questions they may need to. This creates a dialogue between you as the teacher and the students, even through situations where they may be remote learning all of the time. The nice thing about this feed is that you can actually schedule your announcements in advance so that they will appear when you would like them to. This can be convenient if you plan to post the day's activities but want to create the post earlier. I like to post what we did in class each day in this section for those students that weren't able to be there. So I can get the post ready during my planning period and schedule it to post at the end of the day if I would like to. The next tab at the top is for classwork. Here is where you as the teacher can post notes, assignments, videos, and any other relevant information the students need to complete their work. I like to break this section down by week, so if students are remote learning, they can easily see what tasks they are responsible for and when they are due. In this section, you can upload a PDF, slides presentation, Google Doc, or really any type of file the students will be able to download onto their computer. To add a document of any kind, simply click the plus sign that says Create on the screen. From here, it will ask you if you want to post an assignment, material that go along with the assignment, a question to the students, a topic. There are several categories listed. As I mentioned, I like to post assignments by the week, so I'm going to start by creating a topic, then adding assignments and materials to that topic. Now when I click to add a topic, I like to number my weeks so students see a running total of how many weeks we have completed. I then add the dates to help the students stay on track with assignments. So I'm going to put in week 1, August 26th through 28th. and then click Add. Once the topic is created, I can add material like notes to this topic. Now, when we're remote learning, I like to have students watch a video of me covering the content while they're looking at the notes themselves. So from there, they can use that information to complete any assignments that I provide for them. So for me, I'm going to select Add Material next. I might title this New Video, Google Introduction. I want to make sure it's shown under the topic I just created. So I will choose the topic of week 1, August 26th through 28th on the right-hand side. From here, at the bottom of the screen, there is a paperclip symbol. This is what will allow you to attach the video to your classroom for the students to view. Depending on where your file is, you can link from your Google Drive, your computer, or a link such as from YouTube. Once you find the file from the source you're looking, you can click the Post button in the upper right corner of the screen to make that a post to your classroom. If you have multiple classrooms of the same content area, you can also, before you post, click For and change and add certain classes. So since this is just for botany for me, I'm only going to check mark botany, but if I had 2 classes that were the same, I could add the same post to those same classes, and it helps save time so that I don't have to copy and paste assignments as well. So I'm going to add my video from my Google Drive. And then I'm going to click Post. Now, if I want to then add an assignment that goes along with the video posted, I follow the same steps, only choose Assignment this time. So I'm going to click Positive and then Assignment. Because I chose Assignment, I'm now given more options on that right-hand side to choose from for how it's displayed. I can change the point values for the work, so I can change it to ungraded or whatever point value I set, and I can set the due date now. Everything else for creating an assignment is the same. This is nice because if I have files of different types like PDFs, Word documents, Google Docs, or whatever, all of those file types can be uploaded, and it's the same process every time. So it's very easy to assign assignments versus videos versus material. I would suggest using the Google Suite when you're doing these assignments because it makes it easier for students to write on the document and submit rather than having to create their own version. But it depends on how familiar you are with the other tools like Google Docs and Google Slides if you're going to do this or not. So once you set up your assignment completely, and you choose which classes you want it for, how many points, the due date, what topic it's going to fall under, you can click Assign. And now when it pops up on your screen, if you actually click on that assignment and you click View Assignment, for you, it will pop up as a dual screen. All students' names will be on the left side. When you click on a student's name, their work is what will show on the right side. This screen allows you to see which students have turned in an assignment so you can grade it easily. Once you grade the assignment, you can provide them with a grade and send the work back to them so the student can see what score they received on the assignment. That student will be moved to the bottom section on the left, showing their work has been graded. This section is beneficial because I have students submit work early, and rather than waiting until the deadline, I can grade work as it's submitted. So if I have a few busy days ahead, this can help me manage my time. If students haven't submitted work before the due date, this is also a way for me to remind them of upcoming due dates in class so they don't forget and accidentally turn it in late. If I go back and I go to that main page again, under the People tab, you're provided with a list of all of the teachers and students that are part of your classroom. As mentioned earlier, the students can join the class through the class code on the main page, or you can manually add them through email. This will send an invite for them to join, which can sometimes be easier than having students do this class code step on their own. To add students, you can click on the person next to the title that says Students. And from here, you can either type in their name or their email. So if your school has provided Google accounts for all students, you may be able to just type in the student's name and it'll pop up their email without even knowing their email. Otherwise, you'll have to manually input each student's email. Once you add a student, it will show that they were invited on this screen. And when a student receives the email and accepts, their name will appear in bold, showing they have officially joined the classroom. So you'll see which students have accepted that invite and which ones we're still waiting for invites for, so you can kind of follow up with them. My favorite part about this subsection is the ability to add other teachers to your classroom. This is beneficial if you're co-teaching a topic or if you have education specialists in your room throughout the day. This allows them to keep up with students and have the ability to add content to the classroom as well. When our school went fully to remote learning, both of the chemistry teachers put all of their students into one Google Classroom with both teachers being on the classroom. This allowed for each teacher to take a week and post material to all students in chemistry to divide and conquer the material instead of having two separate classrooms where they both had to post and they both had twice the work. Finally, under the Grades tab, you can see each student's grade for the course so far. To set up the grading portion of Google Classroom, you will have to click the Settings tab on the upper right corner. You should see when you first click that the class details you filled out when setting up the class. But if you scroll down, there is a subsection for grading. Here you can choose how you want the overall grade calculated, whether you want it by total points or by a weighted grade. So in this case, it's saying no overall grade, but if I want to do total points, and I can click that. You also can choose whether you want the students to see the overall grade. So you can turn that on or turn it off as you go. From here, you can set up categories for your grades. Since I teach more science-based classes, I like to break my assignments into homework, in-class work, labs, quizzes, and tests. You may change this based on the grade level and the content area you teach. So if I just type in homework as one of my categories, it automatically sets default points. I can change those default points if I'd like to. You can change it so that your tests have more points of value than your homework in each given quarter. You're able to set it up so that every single category has the same amount of points so that you can kind of weight it in a way that certain categories might be worth a little bit more. Once you save your changes and start grading assignments through the Google Classroom, you'll have access to each student's grades in this subsection. Google Classroom is a great way to navigate the world of remote learning and education today. Being from a district that wants to allow the option of in-class and online learning, this platform helps streamline turning in assignments for all students. It also provides students with an easy-to-use setup, and the teacher is able to not only post assignments, but supporting materials to help students that weren't in class, and grading can be done through the platform as well. This is an all-around beneficial tool for teachers looking to move towards a digital and paper-free classroom with lots of great, easy-to-use features for both teachers and students.